So, Ben, let's just talk about the fact that you have a lot of Arab diplomats, a lot of leaders in the Arab world meeting, trying to call for a ceasefire in terms of what's happening in the war in Gaza. Both the US and Israel right now saying a ceasefire is simply not possible because, of course, it would give Hamas the upper hand. Just walk us through that.
Yes, clearly there is a very clear contradiction between the position of the United States refusing a ceasefire and what we're hearing from almost the entirety of the Arab leadership, which will be meeting in an emergency summit in the Saudi capital of Riyadh. The spokesman for the Arab League saying that the Arab League demands an immediate ceasefire. He stressed that they're not interested in these humanitarian pauses, which many in the Arab world have likened to just giving food to somebody while they're being beaten to death. So it's difficult to say what these Arab leaders will be able to do, given that they haven't used any sort of the non-military weapons at their disposal. For instance, an Arab oil embargo, like happened back in 1973 under the leadership of then Saudi King Faisal. Now, also happening in Riyadh is going to be a summit of the Organization of the Islamic Conference, another one of these Middle Eastern talking shops that don't really achieve much. What's interesting is that Ibrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, is going to be there. That's the first time an Iranian president has been to Saudi Arabia in a very long time. And according to a spokesman for Raisi, if the Organization of Islamic Conference Summit does not result in any lessening of the violence in Gaza, he says perhaps the conflict will broaden. Now, you mentioned earlier the visit of the Qatari Emir to Cairo. Also yesterday, the head of the Politburo of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, and the head of Islamic Jihad met with Abbas Kamel, the head of Egyptian intelligence. That certainly indicates the Egyptians are trying to move the situation forward, perhaps trying to convince Hamas and Islamic Jihad, which also does hold some of these captives in Gaza, to somehow start releasing some of them, perhaps to allow for, if not a permanent ceasefire, at least a temporary one. Zain?
Right, Ben Wiedemann live for us there. Thank you so much.